Live on 5 News and streaming on 5 Plus, this is a Weather Impact Alert.
Well, we're starting with a live look in Ozark on this Weather Impact Alert Day as storms have been moving through the area. Thanks for joining us. I'm Morgan Wrigley with meteorologist Stephen Elmore, and it has definitely, for most of us, been a very stormy morning.
Yeah, so far lots of storms, several severe thunderstorm warnings as well. The good news is, as of just a few minutes ago, finally we're warning free right now. Doesn't mean that can't change as we progress throughout the afternoon. Maybe another warning or two will be possible. Still got some storms to keep our eye on, but so far no warnings right now. That's the good news. We still have that watch, that tornado watch across Johnson, Logan, and Scott counties. That goes out until 4 p.m. So we're still watching all these storms right now. As for the rest of northwest Arkansas and the River Valley outside of Johnson, Logan, and Scott counties, that tornado watch has been allowed to expire. It was set to expire at noon. Now it's done with. So our only tornado watch that we have to follow still is, again, Johnson, Logan, and Scott counties. Just a few minutes ago, that severe thunderstorm warning that was in parts of Johnson County, they let that cancel out. So we're still watching some strong storms just below the severe limit right now. I want to take you first across northwest Arkansas. We're watching one of these thunderstorms maybe try to fire back up as it moves out of Washington County into parts of northern Madison County and eventually into Carroll County as well. Eureka Springs area has already seen some very heavy rainfall. We were following some very tight rotation earlier this morning moving into Carroll County, but it never produced a tornado warning. It was tight, but it wasn't tight enough to issue one of those warnings. Let's take a look where a majority of those thunderstorms are right now. Again, well below the severe limits, but still producing lots of lightning, can produce some stronger winds as well. Most of that heavier rainfall in Johnson County, that's going to clear out of here over the next 15 minutes or so. Then our attention would turn to this line of thunderstorms that's developing from northern Franklin County and stretching to southern Leflore County. If that starts to spark back up, we could see some stronger winds. We could see some hail, maybe even have to watch out for some signs of rotation. Of course, that'd be moving into the area that still has that tornado watch of Johnson, Logan, and Scott counties. So not all out of the clear just yet. Still watching these few storms, at least for the next little bit. We take a closer look at that cell there in Johnson County. Really some heavy rainfall right now. Lots of lightning in the area as well. Just nothing severe as of this moment. You take a look at that tornado watch. This was just updated a few minutes ago. Again, all northwest Arkansas, most of the River Valley and eastern Oklahoma. Now that tornado watch is done. Johnson, Logan, Scott County still underneath that watch. That goes out until 4 p.m. Futurecast shows us this. Again, that line of thunderstorms that we just talked about. Futurecast hinting at it's going to produce still some strong storms. I'm going to step actually over here and show you what this progresses as this continues off towards central and eastern parts of the state. That's where the concern is going to be for some tornadoes. We have that level 5 out of 5 risk across most of eastern Arkansas for severe weather. As we continue on throughout the afternoon into the early evening hours, that line of thunderstorms really going to start to come together and eventually potentially cause some damage across central and eastern parts of the state. Unfortunately, that happens late this afternoon into the early evening hours. I show you this risk here, and it's been updated for northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. We're still following that level 3 enhanced risk that stretches over where that tornado watch is going to continue. But northwest Arkansas, mostly we just have that level 1, level 2 risk for the rest of the day today. If anything, maybe a spotty thunderstorm here and there. The rest of northwest Arkansas and the River Valley stretching really just outside of Johnson, Logan, and Scott counties. That level 2 slight risk. Again, maybe a few extra thunderstorms here and there, but not much else to look at. We take a look outside. Wet roads out there. This is a look in Clarksville right now. I think that's Clarksville, actually. Anyways, we're seeing those wet roads out there. Take some caution for today. Not out of the woods just yet. For some of us, still tracking a few storms. We'll bring you the details on storms to come over the next several days coming up in just a bit.
Thanks, Stephen. And of course, we've got you covered all during this severe weather season on our free 5 News app. There you can always find live radar and updates from our weather team. And of course, you can take it with you. It's just right there on your phone. Well, along with the tornado and hail threats, agencies around the state are also preparing for possible floods this week. The Arkansas Division of Emergency Management has been monitoring the weather. They have a few key tips to keep in mind.
Have a plan, have a safe space you can go. Maybe make sure you check on family members, especially those that have disabilities.
Turn around, don't drown. Use good common sense as you go about your daily activities. We've got several days of this weather forecasted, and so people need to prepare now.
The State Emergency Operations Center is there to help out local operations when things get serious. Well, Fort Smith city directors are inviting Trump cabinet leaders to visit the city and discuss the consent decree. That decree is forcing the city of Fort Smith to spend millions of dollars on sewer improvements. On Tuesday, directors approved an official invite to the vice president, the U.S. Attorney General, and the EPA director.
I've had good inclination that if we pass this, there's a good chance that one or both will come, or their deputy directors right underneath them will be coming. They understand, the EPA and DOJ understands our issues.
I think this is a good move tonight and just a piece of an overall pie of communication with all these individuals.
We'll keep you updated if that invite is accepted. Well, another standoff in the state capitol over building a new state prison in Franklin County. A bill set to set aside $750 million for the project failed a key Senate vote. Rebecca Brown takes us through the debate.
It's an outcome many didn't expect to see.
By a vote of 19 yay, 10 nay, 2 not voting for present, Senate Bill 354 fails.
But one that quickly became a reality at the state capitol. The bill to allocate $750 million and use it to build a prison in Franklin County failed in the full Senate Tuesday afternoon.
I understand that the members want to be engaged in this process as it moves forward, regardless of what happens with this appropriation. And you're going to have the ability to do that.
The bill's sponsor, Republican State Senator Jonathan Dismang, says the vote is a setback. The development comes as lawmakers continue expressing concerns over what they call, quote, the real price tag of the plan.
Going down this mega prison, mega financial death spiral built upon lies, deception, and gross incompetence is not the first step in the process that we should do.
But I can't vote for this appropriation. I understand it's appropriation and it's not funding. But it's a bad business decision. And I'm not going to be responsible a year or 2 years from now when we spend $750 million. We got the most beautiful, up-to-date, modern facility. We came in under budget.
But Senate President Pro Tem Bart Hester feels differently.
They should be in prison, but there is no room. And I hope the rest of you don't spend the rest of your lives driving down an Officer Apple or an Officer whatever, or just maybe it's a friend of yours, maybe a schoolmate, maybe a coworker, then maybe they don't get the privilege of having a highway named after them. But I'm telling you, the Shauna Cashes are in every one of our districts right now. Every one of us know it. We've got to have room, and I'm begging you to not have something horrible happen in your district when we could have made a difference today.
At the Capitol, Rebecca Brown, 5 News.
A consultant hired by the State Department of Corrections estimated the cost of the prison at $825 million. Because it's a budget bill, sponsors can keep bringing it back for more votes as they try to get the 27 needed to pass in the Senate. Leflore County voters have approved an emergency services sales tax, with 60% of voters casting ballots for the increase. That 0.3% sales tax will be used to increase funding for emergency services. Well, Republicans have picked up 2 more seats in the House of Representatives. Jimmy Patronis won the special election on Tuesday to represent parts of the Florida Panhandle. That seat has been vacant since Matt Gaetz resigned last year. And Republican Randy Fine also won his race. He'll take over for Mike Waltz, who is now the National Security Advisor. The results give Republicans a 7-vote majority in the House of Representatives. And the Associated Press is calling the Wisconsin Supreme Court race for the Democrat-backed candidate Susan Crawford. The race gives liberal-leaning judges control of the Wisconsin High Court. The state was the closest in the 2024 presidential election, and the judicial campaign broke records for campaign spending. Well, this afternoon, President Trump is set to unveil his long-awaited tariff plans, set to take effect immediately after the announcement. CBS's Natalie Brand is at the White House with the details.
This is the beginning of Liberation Day in America.
The Trump administration has billed today as one of the most important in modern history as the president prepares to unveil his plan for reciprocal tariffs on a broad range of countries that tax U.S. goods.
We are focused on restoring the golden age of America and making America a manufacturing superpower.
While the administration has said the tariffs will generate hundreds of billions of dollars in revenue and bring jobs back to the United States, economists say it will take time.
Even if it does, that requires new factories to be built, that doesn't happen overnight.
Many experts weighing in as the White House finalizes its trade policy announcement say new tariffs will likely mean higher prices for the consumer, something everyday Americans are bracing for.
I'd like to buy American, but the fact is very few things are made exclusively in America.
Roy Rubenfeld says he recently bought a car ahead of the new 25% tariff on foreign vehicles and auto parts set to take effect Thursday.
Cars used to be a lot more simple, but now with new safety features and all of that, the parts of a car come from almost all over the world.
The White House has said the reciprocal tariffs announced today will be imposed immediately and will likely impact countries that have big trade deficits with the U.S. Government data shows China, the European Union, and Mexico are among those at the top of the list. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.